Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to EGFC Season 3 Week 4. We've got George Washington University and Manhattan College ready to play now. I'm sorry for the delays and everything like that. We did have a few issues with connections between Iona and Iona Niagara. Get there eventually, but we are ready to go with this one now. Both teams are ready. They moved the game forward, so thank you very much to them for their cooperation. But yeah, my name's George GNC Overton, joined by Calvin Unchanged Tucker. Unfortunately, his webcam's broken, but we've still got the voice of him.
The floating voice. Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Whoa, what was that? What was that noise? But either way, we're ready to go now. The lads should be just about ready to get into game and should be starting. Yep, the players are all laced up with their boots, ready to go. But yeah, we've got some good games coming up for you guys today. I'll quickly show you the games before we get into the action. Here you go, Niagara, Iona, obviously we've skipped. Might be able to come back to it later. George Washington versus Manhattan, St. Peter's Fairfield, and St. John's William and Mary. But without further ado, we are ready to get into the first game of the evening. George Washington versus Manhattan. It's a repeat of week 1 where Manhattan did pick up the win over George Washington. And it's live, we're ready to go here. It's PSG versus PSG once again.
Yeah, obviously their week 1 matchup, it looked like there was some nerves from George Washington in that first game. They lost 5-1, but the second game was a 4-all draw, so they ended much more positively, and they'll be hoping that the results are much more similar to that this week. You know, they've got a few weeks under their belt. They won the last 2 weeks as well, so you know, that confidence in themselves and their ability. Hopefully this should be a really good game.
100%. I am very much looking forward to commentating on it alongside yourself, Calvin, and hopefully we can see some decent goals again, because we saw some bangers from PSG last week with the likes of Kylian Mbappe and Sergio Ramos, so maybe we'll get more of the same, who knows. But either way, pause is going to be cued early on by Manhattan, and George Washington University are going to take a little bit of time. They've got the ball, they've got plenty of possession, and can they make a potential opportunity here? Mbappe on the ball, looking for the shot. He's going to take it, but it's a great save from Donnarumma.
Yeah, the saves like that are what we've become accustomed to with Donnarumma in this game. He is the perfect goalkeeper build. You know, he's got that really good reach. He does pull off those saves like that quite consistently. But obviously, there has been updates to the game since, you know, the first week that we played. And things have changed, you know, the small patches that EA does. So the goalkeeper's not quite as overpowered as they used to be, but Donnarumma is still an incredible goalkeeper in his own right.
Very true indeed. One of the best goalkeepers in the game, very heavily used, like Hugo Lloris, being very heavily used at the moment. A lot of players enjoying using him. Also Mendy, a fairly cheap goalkeeper on Ultimate Team that a lot of people have been using. But, you know, we're on seasons, so we might as well keep it to seasons for now. And, yeah, apparently, I can't remember, they released a statistic, and it was something like PSG have been used like 60 billion times, some ridiculous number. But PSG is the most heavily used team by far.
Yeah, so they just are the FIFA team. You know, you got Hakimi, that really strong backline with Kimpembe and Marquinhos, people playing Ramos at CDM because, I mean, he can, especially in FIFA. And then, you know, the front line that is Neymar's always a god on FIFA, Mbappe's incredible, Messi is Messi. Like, you know, they've got everything you want on a team in FIFA. They've also got those, you know, powerful box-to-box midfielders. Like, there is no weak point other than maybe left back in this lineup.
Yeah, definitely agree. I mean, and even a left back, still a decent position. Chance for Neymar Jr. Can't quite shift it onto the right foot, but Mbappe with an overhead kick will slot it into the back of the net. Just about. It was very weird attempt, but either way, they will not care. George Washington have got the lead, and now they can look to increase that lead or hang on to it, whatever way you want to look at it. We're very early on into the fixture. Obviously, if you are just joining us, this is the first game of the evening. It's a 2-legged affair. This is the first leg of this series, so we'll have to see how it goes. But a great start for George Washington. Verratti coming forward though, plays the ball to Wijnaldum. It might be a free kick. Referee gonna say you can continue playing. You took the shot, so the advantage is over.
Yeah, I've always found that weird, professional and in the game. You know, someone takes a shot and instantly the advantage is over. You know, a lot of games or a lot of sports, you get your like free play after a foul like that. So you get to like take a shot. You know, American football, you take a deep throw down the field if a flag's out. Rugby, a lot of teams will, you know, go for a drop kick type thing if you get an advantage. But in football, as soon as someone takes a shot, that's it. It's over. Like you gave the ball away. Tough luck. Move on.
Well, either way, a fantastic start to the game for George Washington, as they have a 2-0 lead and they're looking for a third. They can smell the water in the blood, or the blood in the water. Sorry, oh my word, what am I on about? Having an absolute nightmare today, but either way, George Washington 2-0 up. They're going to be very, very happy with themselves. Moving on into the later stage of the game, and it's Sergio Ramos with an absolutely banging header. Look at the power behind that. A lot of people are saying he probably should just retire, but he's absolutely laughing his way to the bank at Paris Saint-Germain, and he's bagged himself a goal, and he got a goal last week. George Washington 3-0 up. Manhattan, what is going on here? As they do have a chance to potentially get one back, but it's great defending once again for George Washington to stop them from really pushing the subject. And it's just really good defending, great pressing of the ball to knock the possession away from them.
Yeah, this is a massive turnaround from that week 1 matchup where we said that, you know, Manhattan had the massive advantage, you know, a 5-1 win in that first game in that first week, and, you know, it looks like this could be a game that's going the other way for George Washington and Manhattan this week around.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
An incredible start from George Washington.
Fantastic start to it indeed. We'll have to see if they can carry on improving, carry on playing as well as they are, because right now they're looking very, very good indeed. They get a fourth and it could potentially already be over. Obviously it is two-legged, as I did say, and although it's plenty of time to get it back into the game, it's very hard to score 4 goals against any team, let alone one of the best teams in the tournament. Here comes Messi, and yeah, he's just taking the ball a bit too far there. It's going to run out for a goal kick, and George Washington with some good defending once again. 40 minutes gone, 3-0 to George Washington. They'll be very, very happy with the start of this game.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, having spoken with Niagara before, obviously we found out that they have not Niagara, sorry, Manhattan, that they have a very big roster. There's more than last year. They've now got 11 players, I believe it was, on their roster. So that turnaround rotation of players that Farazmo was telling us about with this Manhattan team could
Messi with another chance and another goal.
In the first half.
Oh my word, absolutely ridiculous. The thing is, you were talking for the one sentence and there was 2 goals in that one sentence. Kylian Mbappe sliding it away, Messi putting it away on his left foot. 5-0 before the first half has even ended. Marquinhos cutting out the pass, a good interception, and that will be the half-time whistle being blown.
I should have waited for half-time, but yeah, do you remember when we spoke to them, like you said, Farazmo let us know that the Manhattan team do have 11 players, and they weren't playing off of it wasn't like if you're doing well in practice, you get to stay on. They were planning on just doing a continual rotation, working it through so that everyone gets some sort of playtime. And while I love that approach, and it's amazingly inclusive, I feel like that could be part of their downfall here, as you see maybe one of their slightly weaker players coming up against Manhattan's player that has much more game time in the tournament, and with that shorter rotation that they're running, it's just they're permanently in with Manhattan.
Look, I like it, but I also hate it. I like it because it's very nice to see lots of players getting a chance to come in, play the game, have their games commentated on, all that good stuff. But I also hate it because you're never going to get with any kind of rhythm. You're never going to have any kind of, play style cement itself, because obviously new players coming in, stuff like that. It just doesn't work, unfortunately. And you're seeing here, we saw them play during week 1 and they played fantastically against George Washington, but then here they're getting demolished a little bit in the first half. 5-0 is a massive scoreline, especially for just 6 minutes. You got to remember, 6 minutes and a half of FIFA in real life time, and you know, it's not looking great for them. We'll have to see if they can bounce back. But George Washington, they are definitely hunting the game here. They're hunting the goals and they're trying to get as big a lead as they possibly can. But maybe we can see Manhattan get some kind of normality. Maybe they can get back into the game somewhat here.
Yeah, even just, you know, you joke that it's consolation goals at this point when you're 5-0 down, but in the format of this tournament, any goal is massive in terms of giving your teammate in the next leg some, you know, something to work with, something to go off of and make their task a little bit easier for them. You know, it's the difference between, you know, losing by 1 goal and getting a draw and moving it to a golden goal. So it is massively important. George Washington will still be wanting to try and deny any of those chances, as they do with some really good defending there from Marquinhos, and just keep this lead as big as they can for George Washington. But Manhattan at the same time will want to just draw anything back so that they can try and make it easier for their teammate in the next game.
Very true indeed. A chance from Kylian Mbappe, but it was definitely a little bit forced. Obviously, probably wasn't going to go in, but you never know if you don't try. But his chance for Mbappe down the other end, is he going to go for the chance? No, takes it out really wide. And looks for the ball roll shots to the near post, and I feel like a chip was potentially on at one point. I feel like just like hit and hope. You've got to be taking those chances when you're this far down. You've got to be taking them and looking for a way back into the game. And obviously they did not take that chance, but maybe it's a sign of better things to come. Who knows? Hakimi playing the ball into Messi. Back to Ramos. Messi on the ball once again. Lovely little turn. Lovely bit of dribbling as well. Is he going to take the shot? And he is. Almost ran across the box to Messi, but Hakimi will take it away. And maybe a chance for Manhattan now to counter-attack. As, you know, they've gotten 1 or 2 chances in the second leg. They haven't taken them, but it's a sign. It's a sign that potentially they could bring themselves back.
Yeah, it shows a possibility. It gives them a bit of positivity. You know, it makes you feel better even if you just get those kind of chances. But from what I've seen of this new patch since they kind of tried to fix goalkeepers, the weakness that I've seen is when you get like into the box, is hitting those like driven shots across the keeper's face. I've seen a lot of them like diving underneath the ball from gameplay and personal experience. So. Yeah, like you say, in that situation, they took it a bit wide. I'd have liked to have seen, you know, at least work the keeper, hit one of those across goal, see what works. But maybe they're not quite as up to date on what the patches are and what is currently the meta ways of scoring. Is, you know, it's always a struggle at the start of the year while EA themselves try and figure out what they want to do with their game.
Yeah, definitely. There's always the week 1 patch, which we've seen come through. We've also had a second title update as well, which can be difficult because obviously it changes the game week on week and it can get quite frustrating for professional players. But here is a chance for Neymar Jr. running in. There should be a definite chance. Goalkeeping movement's gone the wrong way, and there's the first goal of the game going the way of Manhattan. Well, the first goal for Manhattan, should I say, just to clarify. 5-1 now and only a 4-goal deficit, so if they can get one more back in this game, you know, I'm not going to write them out completely. There is a world in which there's a chance, you know. There is a chance here for Messi. Ball will be overran. What's the famous words of Dr. Disrespect? It was something like 6 million possibilities, but there's only one where they win.
Yeah, and this that's the Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, sorry, that one. Yeah, that Doctor.
the slightly less controversial Doctor. But yeah, it is. Yeah, there's like 6 million whatever possibilities, and there's only one in which they can win. This could be the one. You know, like I said, every goal is massively important for getting it back on their teammate. George Washington aren't the only team that could score 5 goals in one half. You know, it's possible for any team to do that, and it could happen in the next game. So. That one goal is huge. You can never really write someone out on FIFA, but you know, a goal deficit like that is hard to not try and write someone out, but you do have to remember that there is a whole other leg to this as well.
That is very true. It's a great save from Donnarumma and another save from Donnarumma. Neymar couldn't quite get the angle to get the shot away. Ball's given away. Mbappe's got it on the right foot. I thought he might have taken the shot for a second. Some really good left stick dribbling, and eventually Marquinhos will be able to take it away. Maybe a chance for a counter attack now. Have they got the right passes though, Manhattan? Because as of right now, the defending is good. Got Marquinhos out of the way, and that's the big member you need to get out. And Mbappe, that's going to be a red card, I would assume. It's very, very late on in the game, so it wouldn't matter too much. I don't even think it's a cut. It is a red card for Hakimi. And a free kick, potentially chance for Messi. Is he going to get it in the back of the net? No, he goes to the short pass to Sergio Ramos! And there is Manhattan getting themselves another goal. And potentially now a chance going into the second leg to bring it back in and to potentially mount the comeback. Because I'll be honest, the last 30 minutes or so, Manhattan have looked very much on the front foot here. They've been looking decent. They were just a little bit unlucky. They gave George Washington a couple too many chances. One back-to-back goal. I do see a world where they can get themselves back in this one though, but here is a chance for Mbappe, and George Washington say, you think they can come back into this game? No, we're going to get another goal, we're going to bring it back to 4-goal lead, and it's looking a lot harder now for Manhattan, but going into the second game, if they can, if they can keep going with this kind of style, you never know.
Yeah, and I thought they were about to get another red card there, but fortunately only a yellow for Ramos. But yeah, 4 goals we were saying is tough. If they'd have been able to keep that to a 3-goal deficit there in Manhattan, it would have been one of those games where you can go, if they come out with a start like George Washington did, then this is really a strong position for them to be in. But George Washington just bagging another goal, like they get that late goal at the end there again, and it's just this is it looked like Manhattan had their chance to get back into this game and set it up for their teammate in the end, but it's that defending again. George Washington maybe took their foot off the pedal a little bit and let Manhattan get back into it, but at the end they were like, hey, no, we need this 5-goal advantage. We're not messing about here. We can create chances whenever we want. We were just trying to play this game out, and they scored 2 goals again at the end, and yeah, 5-goal advantage going into that second match. I find it hard to try and back Manhattan here, but I'm sure they'll be backing themselves, and they will still have all the confidence going into this game. It's 2 completely different players. Anything can happen.
Yeah, very true indeed. And like you say, whole second leg to go. 5-goal deficit does make it extremely hard. But can they come back? We saw some sparkles. We saw some moments of greatness from Manhattan. But we also saw some really, really bad moments where just rushing defenders left, right and centre. And that's what caused them to have the deficit that they do. Obviously, going into the second leg, we do need to see them change a fair few things. And who knows, maybe they will be changing the player. But either way, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll jump to the next game. Well, we'll jump to the second leg of this game, 7-2. So make sure you stick around, and we're going to jump to a quick break. So go grab yourself a drink. We'll be back in a couple of moments' time.
That's one of the crazier first legs that we've seen. One team have
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to EGFC Season 3, Week 4. My name is George GNC Overton, joined by Kelvin Unchanged Tucker, and we are ready for the second game of the evening, the second leg of this affair between George Washington and Manhattan. Obviously, as you can see, we're 9 minutes in. The players didn't say that they were going to start straight away, so I wasn't quite expecting it. But either way, we are ready to go. 10 minutes in, nothing too special has happened, so you haven't missed anything too crazy. But George Washington do have a 7-2 lead. 5 goals on aggregate, a 5-goal advantage. It is looking very good for them, but we did see some bright moments from Manhattan, so who knows coming into the second leg? Who knows what can happen?
Yeah, and obviously... it's two completely different people playing, so we'll see, how their play styles match up against each other in this game in particular. But a 5-goal deficit, George Washington will want to just try and hold possession, create chances when they can. But the one thing they want to make sure they are is solid defensively. That they don't, step anyone out of line or give away too many chances and allow Manhattan to be pushing to where they need to play. They want to be playing. They want to try and make this their game. They want to hold it to their own tempo and their style and try and limit Manhattan's chances.
Yeah,
because Manhattan are going to have to be pretty much all out, and they're going to have to score on it, every chance they get if they really want to be coming out of this with a win.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Even getting it to golden goal.
I agree. They really do need to take their chances, which is something they did do towards the later stages of the first game, but we'll see if they can do it in the second one, because they are starting on the front foot here. Mbappe's got the ball. Can he break down the defence? No, but the ball does fall kindly to Gini Wijnaldum. Twisting and turning. Potential chance for the shot, but maybe took a little bit too long. Mbappe going to recycle the ball and get it back, and Manhattan can keep possession. Wijnaldum still got the ball, pulling the strings in the midfield area. Mbappe now on the ball. Lacroqueta looks for the shot, can't quite find it. Another graceful bit of defending from George Washington, looking absolutely fantastic in this series so far.
Yeah, timing those last-ditch tackles really well. Letting their opponent think they've got the advantage. They're getting right on the edge, and then a counter-attack as we're talking. So they let their opponent think that they've got the upper hand. They let them think they've got that little bit of space, get those last-ditch tackles in, and then play it right down the other end of the pitch and get an amazing goal straight away.
Another fantastic goal from George Washington, extending their lead to 6. And it's now looking very, very difficult for Manhattan. Lionel Messi on the ball, though, potential for a chance, and goes to the shot across goal. Potentially could have taken a few more touches, but Donnarumma with another great save. And those, like we've said, those are the chances you do need to be taking. You need to be getting into better positions. You need to take one extra touch and look for that goal. But again, a great save from Donnarumma. Not really too much you can do, other than obviously take another touch and look for a more solid opportunity other than shooting across goal. But either way, another chance for Neymar. Kimpembe runs into the ball, a little bit of a lucky tackle, but I'm sure they will take it. Either way, I think George Washington have played fantastically so far in this series. I think they're doing a really good job. I am excited to see what they can do in future weeks. Obviously, they lost in the first week to Manhattan, so they have obviously improved massively going into obviously the fourth week. Great save from Donnarumma once again.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like I said about the cross-goal shots being very strong, but you do need to wait for the goalkeeper to, kind of set where their positioning is. You need to make sure your player is set. You don't want to be running across the goal and then hitting it back across your own body as well, like they did with that shot. But that last save from Donnarumma was an incredible save. That the reactions, he's still proving that goalkeepers are still good in this game, or at least he definitely is. And like I said, it's chances like that Manhattan will be, wishing found their way into the back of the net, as they are now 6 goals down in this game. Every attack at this point, if it doesn't end up in a goal, is the clock running down on Manhattan's chance to get back into this tie.
Yeah, it's always going to be difficult for them. Well, there's not really any chance for them to get back into this one, but we'll have to see if they can at least try and improve here in this leg and try and keep the scoreline a bit closer. 40 minutes in, only 1 goal, as opposed to, I think it was 5 last time. The shot, and what a fantastic goal from Marco Verratti, of all people. 2-0 to George Washington.
There's that, set foot cross goal shot that I was mentioning earlier that has been finding the back of the net most consistently from what I've seen of the most recent patch. And yeah, Marco Verratti, who's not particularly known for his goal scoring, able to find the back of the net with a shot like that. But yeah,
a beautiful goal.
It was incredible. But they are, like I said, Manhattan are just kind of, the clock is their enemy at this point.
How do you even commentate on that? How do you even commentate on that? There was a trip, could have been a free kick, goalkeeper movement just absolutely terrible. Manhattan do get themselves a goal, and that's going to be the clean sheet out the window for George Washington. It's not, it doesn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of things. They're still 6 goals down on aggregate, but I'm sure they'll be happy with a consolation goal. Chris Macker saying George Washington will win this. I think you are capping, good sir. That is what the kids call a cap. But either way, as you can see,
I think PSG will win.
Yeah, I think PSG will win as well. But either way, 2 goals is the expected goals from Manhattan. It's only 1.7 for George Washington. Honestly, does expected goals matter? No. Let's be honest. It doesn't really matter. I know people that have had 5 expected goals and they've lost 4-1 to somebody with 1 expected goal. So it's ridiculous. Honestly, it's I like that they added the feature. I think it's cool, but it's so frustrating when you see your expected goals higher than your opponents and you still lose. It is rough.
Oh, it would. You know what? I'm thinking about that now. Yeah, like. You used to kind of be blissfully unaware, and you would joke, "Oh, I've had more shots and whatever, and I'm still losing." But like, you never knew like how good of a chance it was. Having the expected goals per game, and really being like, as much as anything, it would be for me someone that was more like defensive as a player. I'd be like, man, I am really not finishing my chances, am I?
Yeah, it is a little bit rough for Manhattan because they have had a fair few opportunities, great bit of skill, but. Once again, unable to get the shot off, really, blocked by the defender. And George Washington looking to come forward again. George is not a George Washington fan. Ooh, I mean, I can't be biased. I've got to be equal towards all teams, apart from William and Mary. I love William and Mary. Because they're the underdogs. You've got to support the underdogs. But either way, Manhattan are just, they're trying. They're trying to get back into this game. And it's never going to happen, but they have got themselves another goal, and they've narrowed it down to just a 5-goal deficit. Although, it's 5. We haven't seen stranger things happen, but we've seen similar things happen before. Maybe not with the lead that it is, but who knows? Maybe in one reality it could happen, but yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult. And I'm just being optimistic here. I'm trying to say the chance is still on, but it's probably not.
While there is every chance that they could score that many goals, the thing that I find hard is seeing them be able to create enough chances to score.
Okay.
While they've just scored another one really well, an amazing finish by Neymar, I don't know if they can hold George Washington out until the end. Is the only problem. Can they create 5 chances and possibly score 5 goals to bring it back to level? Yes. But in that time, do I see George Washington also not being able to score a goal? I mean, based off of what we've seen so far, I'm not so sure on that.
You never know, though, because they are starting to look rather good. Here comes Neymar Marquinhos with a good tackle, and I'm not too sure what that was from Marco Verratti, but either way, another goal, and it's now just down to a 4-goal deficit. So the potential is on. They do need to score 4 more goals in 30 minutes, though. Can it happen? Who knows? They need to score rather soon if they want to try and get back into this one. We'll see if it can happen. 4 goals in 30 minutes isn't, it's crazy hard.
By FIFA standards, it's not impossible. It is far from impossible.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Exactly.
Can be done.
It can happen. It could happen. We shall see. Wijnaldum running it down the centre, though, giving it to Kylian Mbappe and Sergio Ramos, using the speed, using the strength, and taking the ball away from him. But either way, I'm looking forward to seeing the closing minutes of this game. I feel like it could come down to the wide. Ball played out wide should be miles offside, and it is.
Yeah. I mean, these have been 2 very good games, and if you're the Manhattan player that's playing in the second leg, you've got to be, very happy with the performance that you've managed to pull out. currently winning and could be getting an even better result out of this. So there's always positives that you can take from this, even if they might not win this current leg. You know, you've got things that you can work on. You've got another game under your belt, and you've got some good results as well.
Thought that was in, but it was the other side of the post. Very, very close indeed to being a chance for Manhattan. But 20 minutes now to go. The goals have slowed down. We haven't seen any goals in quite a while, and you never know. You never know. The chance could still be on. We need to see them score now, though, if ever. Great tackle from Marquinhos. Fantastic strength. And I think George Washington are very comfortable in this one. I feel like it is safely their win. But, you know, you can't be lackadaisical. That is going to be a yellow card for Marquinhos. And a good position for a free kick. Is he going to take the shot? He is going to take the shot. He went for the pass last time and it paid off for him. But this time just going to look for the straight shot. Interesting. The man was wide open. I'm not too sure who it was, but I'm surprised he didn't take the shot on. Chance for Neymar Jr., but again, just dribbled into a group of 5 players and can't get himself out of that hole. But either way, Mbappe got the ball. Can he dribble his way out of this one? Marquinhos will take it. We'll go out for a corner as they look for another goal. And as you can see, George Washington's still in the lead on possession and passing accuracy. But Manhattan have the lead. You know, they're winning the second leg. They've got themselves potentially have got themselves a win in the second leg for the second game. But obviously, on aggregate, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, it is indeed. They are still down by 4 goals on the aggregate score, and you know that is not a position they want to be in. But like I said, it's been a better second leg for Manhattan for sure. George Washington, I think, ultimately, like I said, they just they played the game the way they needed to. They scored the chances that they had to keep pulling that lead away, and they've not done anything stupid in defense or in possession to give Manhattan too many chances to where they've really been able to get back into this game. It has kind of still been in George Washington's favour for the most part. They've looked relatively comfortable with it as they do bring it back to 3-3 as well with a great header from a corner with Sergio Ramos.
I would most definitely agree. Another great goal for George Washington as they've tied this one up, and they're not going to lose the second leg. They might draw it, but there's still 7 minutes left to see if we can get a winner here in the second leg. Obviously, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the aggregate score line, but we'll see. Mbappe can look for an audacious long shot, and it doesn't pay off. Donnarumma made it look easy because it probably was easy. It was a terrible shot in truth.
Frustration shot, maybe. You know,
yeah, I would say so.
It's back to that 5-goal deficit, isn't it? Like they're now we can. I would quite comfortably say there is no way of Manhattan getting back in this leg. They can just try and play this game out and hold their heads high that they did their best.
Yeah, another fantastic save from Donnarumma as we're in the closing moments of this game. Is there a winner from this corner? Is there going to be one final goal? Oh, he's going to look for the shot from kickoff. This is going to be way too high and way too wide. I've seen them happen before, though. They're not... if the goalkeeper gets brought off the line, it can happen. But either way,
yeah, it's possible. It's a very difficult thing to do. Having tried it myself before and seen people try it, it's definitely not an easy goal to get. But it's one of those where if in this kind of situation, you've got that 5-goal aggregate lead. Why not go for it? See if you can try and whip one and see how far it is off and maybe get yourself closer for the next one. As that will be the end of the game. So that is 3-3 in this second leg. That does mean ultimately that George Washington have won this match. 5 goals on aggregate, with the final score being, what was that? 8-2. 10-8. Wow. 10-5. 10 goals in 2 legs. That I'm looking through now at the list of games we've got. That might be the most... Oh, no. Wait. The Marquette Manhattan College one. They had 12... Manhattan managed to score 12 goals across the 2 legs in that one. I thought that might have been one of the highest scoring games we've seen, but I looked back and realised that Marquette and Manhattan had a game that went 8-6 in Marquette's favour. So, Yeah.
A very
We've
close
had
game.
some mad games. It was a very close game.
not
Very
at all.
high scoring game.
Not at all. But either way, at least Manhattan know what they have to improve on, and obviously going into next week, they know they've got a lot to work on. Is the nicest way to put it. George Washington obviously looking fantastic, and they can go into next week feeling happy and, you know, potentially going for the top spot on the table. They will have to compete with Iona, who have looked absolutely fantastic this entire tournament so far, yet to pick up a loss. So we shall see. Either way, that is the end of the first game. We still have some more fantastic games to come up for you guys later on in the day. We have Niagara versus Iona coming up next. We did switch those ones around because there was a couple of internet issues. And then we've got St. Peter's Fairfield and St. John's versus William and Mary. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it to a very fast break. Hopefully, you know, you'll come back, grab yourselves a drink, grab yourselves a snack. And yeah, when we return, it will be Niagara versus Iona. Top of the table versus bottom of the table. We'll see how it goes. And we'll be back in a few moments' time.